This is Hidden Killers Live with Tony Bruschi, Stacey Cole, and Todd Michaels.
We're talking about the Ellen Greenberg case and all of the failures and all of the questions that are now being asked, thank God, publicly, since the new Hulu documentary has come out, Death in Apartment 603, What Happened to Ellen Greenberg. And I want to note again, Sam Goldberg, Ellen Greenberg's fiance at the time of her death, has never been charged with any crime in connection to this case. He has consistently maintained that Ellen's death was a suicide. All individuals mentioned in this segment are presumed innocent unless proven otherwise. We are having a discussion. We are talking about theories. We are talking about opinions based on the information that has come out. We are not saying that Sam had anything to do with Ellen's death. Theoretically, we're talking about all the what-ifs and asking the questions of why. Why was this handled the way it was? Joining us now, psychotherapist and author Shavaun Scott. Shavaun, this is a case that I know we've been talking about for years on and off. I know the documentary, obviously, that's out now. Give me your reactions to what you have absorbed thus far now that this new one is out and we're kind of seeing it from a slightly different perspective.
I have tried to keep a really open mind and look at all sides here. And where I end up, it kept coming into my mind if Stephen King and Agatha Christie decided to collaborate on a story, we'd all go, whoa, that's quite a story there. And we want to know what the solution is. But yeah, everything I've been listening to you guys a bit, everything you say, I agree. It just doesn't make any sense. The most common, I looked into the data, which I already kind of knew, but I wanted to look up and be sure. Common suicide methods among women, number one, overdose. By far, the majority are overdose. After that, it's firearms. Then, much less often for females, is hanging. And then you get into this infinitesimal small number that will jump off a building, and then finally the smallest number are they'll drown themselves or they may cut or they'll crash a vehicle. But nowhere can I find in the literature multiple stab wounds, and particularly to strange parts of the body that would be difficult to do. It just doesn't happen. So that's... that leaves us with what else, where else could it go? And of course, you're going to look at the fiance really closely and how to get the door open and how would you have locked it, all of those things. But this is why we're still talking about this case all these years later, because it's so weird.
You would naturally look at the fiance, no matter who it is, no matter what the circumstances are.
Yep.
But they didn't, because they simply took him at his word. That's the most baffling part of the whole damn thing.
There's something bigger at play here. There's something bigger at play, because this would not happen if there wasn't some puppet master behind the scenes.
And his words were a lie. We can call it a lie. It was a lie. The security guard was not there. Correct. So either he's lying, or whoever took that transcription down and said that he was there was inaccurately transcribing what the hell he was being told. There's your two options of what would have occurred.
Another failure.
Another failure.
I have a question. Maybe you guys have an answer. Maybe you don't. I thought I remembered that there was not anything in the police report about the concierge coming up, but it was in the medical examiner's report.
I think there was some place where that was true. I don't know why. And I don't think anyone knows the answer to that question. I do not know why it's there and why it's not in other places. There's so many questions as to what the hell is going on. I want to continue with some clips here that we're watching, because we're starting to get into kind of the psychology of what the hell's going on. One would wonder, after something like this happens, and let's say it was a suicide. Let's say that the story is right. She was a zombie, came back, killed herself. After you come upon this and your fiance is dead, You got her family. You're somewhat close with them. How one would act after that, I guess probably depends on how your relationship is with them. But here's how it went down. This is some interviews that took place in the doc.
Sam would check in with me periodically, and I don't know what possessed me, but we would have a very cordial conversation, and I would always say, Sam, we know this was not a suicide. And then there was an awkward silence.
After Ellen passed away, Sam and I met for coffee a couple times just to get together and talk about things. And I wanted to see where he was and how things were going. And we always text each other on her birthday and the anniversary of her death, those type of things. He didn't seem so concerned with how Ellen died. He never questioned anything if it was a homicide. He was pretty confident, that's all, it was a suicide. He always kept it that Ellen killed herself and it was mental health, and that's how he portrayed it all the time. He did ask me at one point, do you think I killed Ellen? And I was like, well, I don't think she killed herself. That's all I'll say.
Oh boy.
It's an odd question to ask, but I would imagine you might be feeling the pressure of that considering the circumstances. What's your reaction to that, Shavaun?
I would love to have an interview with him and really try to go in depth into their relationship. Why wasn't she wearing her engagement ring? Because even they said at school that she wasn't wearing the engagement ring. Mm-hmm. She told her dad she wanted to move home, or at least come home and stay. Yeah. So if he was so quick to go to suicide, why? Give me some details. Give me some reasons. And I'm not hearing that from here. Does that mean that there weren't reasons, that there wasn't a lot going on? There were a few hints about her difficulties in her first year teaching, and I can talk more about that. It's a hard job. Yeah. And so really there's just missing pieces. Why did he go there? Because you would think if there was any question at all in his mind, he would be the one leading the charge. We are going to find out what happened here. Who did this?
I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second here. If you don't know who did this, and they're telling you, and well, you've told them it was, he didn't flat out say she killed herself. He flat out said she was on medication, she had some depression issues, and that he broke the door down. That's what he said. And then they came to the conclusion, well, it's a suicide. It must be because you didn't do it. Nobody came in and did it, so that's what it has to be. If you're getting that answer, and you know damn well the next person that they're going to start looking at is you. And even if you had nothing to do with this, let's say he has nothing to do with this, but the authorities are basically giving you a card that says, well, we're going to say it's a suicide. We think it's a suicide. I don't know. I mean, are you going to stir the pot more and get people looking at you more if you had nothing to do with it? Because there's a lot of people that go to prison for life or get death for murders they don't commit, because he fits pretty much into the hole any prosecutor would want of possibly being the person who did this. If you're looking for a suspect, if you're looking for alibis that don't add up, about lying at the scene, about weird, suspicious behavior, it looks pretty like a strong case you'd have against Sam Goldberg. But if there's telling you, no, we don't think it's you at all, do you keep stirring the pot? Or do you be like, okay, cool. Like, I'd like to find somebody. I'd like to find out who actually did this to my fiance, but I also don't want to destroy the rest of my life either, because it looks really suspicious, even though I didn't do anything.
Yeah, I guess it's a toss-up. It could go either way. And when I'm trying to analyze these things, I always start with, I try to put myself in that situation and imagine, or I imagine what would my husband do. And I just think I would be driven by the need to know who did it.
Sure.
I mean, I would be hiring the private investigators if the police weren't on it. I would want to know, am I in danger? You know, did somebody get in this apartment that was after me?
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so many unknowns. I would think that would override that self-preservation tendency. You know, I would be driven to know, and I think my husband would be driven to know who's the killer out here.
You would think so. I mean, I think for most of us, we would do that. But again, everybody's
everybody's different.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I know that's what I would do. But again, that's the whole thing with cases like this. Like, yeah, it doesn't really matter what I would do.
Yeah.
It matters, you know, what they would do and how they were handling this. But you make a good point. If I mean, this certainly, it looks like a murder, and you didn't do it. Why? Why would someone be out to kill your fiance? Or was she the target? Or were you the target?
Right.
I mean, I'd be wondering all of these things because, I don't know, she's a first grade teacher. Is there a reason? I mean, there was no essay in this case. What's the reason for somebody breaking in and killing the first grade teacher? There doesn't seem to be a lot. She didn't seem to have any, you know, there just wasn't there. I mean, I don't know anything about Sam other than, you know, he works in television and worked with, you know, various productions. You know, is some golfer upset that they didn't get the right shot on NBC Sports one day? And they're like, yeah, you missed my birdie. Gonna kill your fiance. I mean, come on, that's insane too. But I would be asking, why? Not just walking away. But again, if you're being told it's suicide, some people are going to accept those answers too from authorities if that's what they're telling them. That could be the answer as well as to why this hasn't. They haven't spoken any further of it because they just simply accept the answer.
Yeah. Yeah, it is possible. And as you say, it depends on everybody's personality. But I would sure have questions about what was going on in their relationship.
Yeah.
And when he said, well, she had mental health problems, let's define that. What do you mean? Because the only thing we're really hearing, which we heard from her friends and colleagues and her parents, is that she was incredibly stressed with her job and wanted to get out of it. And for a young lady that was clearly a high achiever, I mean, she had a stellar life and she had achieved all sorts of things. Yeah. And I don't think she would have been used to failing at something, and it could have been that her emotional reactions, Klonopin is used, classic anxiety drug, and used for people having panic attacks. It's typically, when used as directed, a safe medication. They tell people don't use it long term, but that made sense with someone who was very stressed by their job. And she was also on Ambien, which goes with being very stressed. People stop sleeping. That's not unusual. But when we go back to if she wanted to die, the easiest things to do would be take those two drugs and you just go to sleep. And that's what most women would do. So why didn't other people know if she was so desperate that I'm going to go into the stabbing frenzy on myself? You know, it doesn't add up. But yes, was she under stress, the job stress? She had the 3 visits with a psychiatrist. And I do have to say that doesn't count for a lot because psychiatrists primarily do medication. Very, very few of them spend much time talking about your relationships or your life. And so it is feasible that there was more going on with her mental health wise, that the psychiatrist just didn't know her well enough and he wasn't aware of it. But if Sam was leaping to this, she had mental health problems, what does that mean? Because that would imply that there was more than job stress happening, but I didn't hear from anyone else that they were seeing that. I guess why would anyone jump to this was suicide? Yeah. I mean, why is Sam why is anyone thinking this is suicide? I mean, just the odds are so incredibly low and bizarre. And I mean, I don't even know that it didn't register as, like, in that moment, suicide. It clearly, there's a knife sticking out of her chest. And the first thing he says is, oh, she fell on a knife. Right.
Again, having that, I want to go back. Let's watch this clip because I want to go back to the 911 call in a moment because I want to get your reaction to that. But let's watch this last clip from the documentary. This is talking about the crime scene or the scene, the homicide scene, the unaliving scene, whatever you want to call it. Let's take a look.
It's detrimental to a homicide scene if it was cleaned up before we were able to collect any type of evidence. As a police officer, I'm suspicious. Why is this cleaned up so fast?
I had no experience in this. I just didn't know what was going to happen or what was not going to happen. I grew up trusting the police, believing in the police. That's why they're the police, right? So what are we supposed to do? It's a murder investigation. We believed it was murder.
It's in the hands of the police, and you figure they're gonna be professionals and they're gonna do their job.
We had no reason to suspect anything was out of the ordinary.
At that point, the police department was giving us little information. The medical examiner's office wasn't going to give us an interview either. So at this point, really reporters are stymied in their quest for answers. And then on March 10th, 2011, the medical examiner's office publicly declares Ellen's death a suicide.
After suicide, we heard nothing. It was done. They were like, we're done, case closed.
I was so devastated and so distraught.
It was like the night of her murder.
It's really hard playing devil's advocate, but I felt like I needed to at some point on this episode, just to try and examine it. And it's insane because it's insane to try and think of these other options that are just not remotely logical at all.
Yeah. And I think it's good to play devil's advocate. I mean, I think we always should in these cases and try to look at, weird things happen and people can react in weird ways and cops do make mistakes. And,
sure.
But it's just one thing layered on top of another. And yes, it all adds up to something is really off.
Something, I mean, and when you're looking at all the puzzle pieces put together, if you just look at one over here, one over there, yeah, you can kind of make a call this way or that way, but that's not being accurate. That's not being decisive or critically thinking about this case. One of the strongest pieces here, and we're going to go back to it because I really want to get your reaction, and I think Todd, have the pause button ready because I want to kind of break this down kind of piece by piece, is that 911 call. We had a chance to listen to it in an earlier segment, but I want to go through it with you because it is, to me, one of the most damning, disturbing, weird chunks of psychological theater that I've ever heard. Mm-hmm. Let's just start it from the beginning. Again, this is Sam calling 911. Claiming that he had just broken into the apartment and 10 feet away, Ellen's laying there on the ground, knife sticking out of her chest, but that seems to elude him until further into the call. So let's start it.
Oh, I need a now. I just walked into my apartment. My fiance's on the floor with blood everywhere.
What is the address?
4601 Flat Rock Road. Please come help
4601
Flat Rock Road.
Is this a house or apartment?
Oh no! Oh no! It's an apartment.
What apartment number?
Please hurry, please.
Where is she bleeding from?
I don't know. I can't tell.
So you have to calm yourself down in order to get you some help.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm looking at her right now. I can't see anything. There's nothing broken. She's bleeding. Ellie!
You don't know where she's bleeding from? Can't see where blood's coming from?
I think her head. I think she hit her head, but it's everywhere.
Okay,
it's everywhere.
Think she might have fallen? Do you know what happened?
She may have slipped. There's blood on the table. Her face is a little purple.
Okay, hold on for rescue for her. Stay on the phone.
Philadelphia Fire Department 842. What's the address? No.
4601 Flat Rock Road. Please hurry.
4601 Flat Rock?
Yes.
What's wrong?
I went downstairs to go work out. I came back up. The door was latched. My fiance's inside. She wasn't answering. So after about a half hour, I decided to break it down. I see her now just on the floor with blood. Like she's not.
Yeah. What happened? Wouldn't the answer be my fiance is on the floor with a knife sticking out of her chest? Not.
Correct.
I went to go work out and the door was locked.
Yeah.
It feels rehearsed.
What's your feelings on this call so far? I don't know. It feels very, obviously it's a dramatic moment, but you can be over dramatic in dramatic moments.
Well, yeah. And it is really hard to know in any specific 911 call, what is the typical way somebody is going to react. And so it's interesting. That alone doesn't shout out to me. He's upset, obviously, but can people put that on and amp that up and rehearse it? Sure. So again, it's one way or the other. It's hard to know.
Let's keep listening.
She's not responding.
Okay, is she breathing? Look at her chest. I need you to calm down, and I need you to look at her chest. It's really.
I really don't think she is.
Listen to me. Someone's on the way. Look at her chest. Is she flat on her back?
She's on her back. So I bring her.
Look at her chest and tell me if
Hold
it's
on
going
a second.
up and down, up and down.
People in our chat, they're so observant. She was not on her back. She was propped up against the cupboards.
Yeah.
So what he was seeing in front of him while on with 911, he was lying right there because she was sitting up. And I understand people in traumatic situations may not get their facts entirely straight. I get that. Might contradict what I said earlier, but what he was seeing and what he was saying are two different things. She was not on her back.
Or did he prop her up? What? And then he didn't account for it, or what? Because that part again also not accounted for, and that could be the simple explanation of I propped her up. Why would you? I don't know why you would. I don't know that. I don't know why you would, but I don't know. People do weird things, but again, not accounted for either. Just like the security guard being at the door as he breaks it down. In one account, he's there. In others, there's no word of it whatsoever.
Yeah.
So
it is possible, though, as you mentioned in the midst of that, Stacey, it is possible when people are really agitated, they get facts wrong and they misspeak and they're not thinking clearly. They may not even be perceiving clearly. And it sure seems like he would have noticed that knife coming out sooner, but he may have been fixated on all the blood all over and just not been paying attention. I've made a few 911 calls in my day, and I'd be interested to hear them back now. And did I get it right, or did I miss something, or did I misspeak? It's hard to know.
Yeah, I mean that's we're dealing with human beings here, and it's easy to Monday morning quarterback it and go, well, he misspoke or said this, so, and you can have grace to some of that, but again, what makes the case so troubling is that no questions were ever asked about any of these inconsistencies. There's more to the call. Let's keep listening.
I don't see her moving.
Okay, do you know how to do CPR?
I don't.
Okay, I can tell you what to do, okay, until they get there. I want you to keep her flat.
Oh, God.
Hello?
Yeah, hi, okay.
Are you willing to do CPR with me over the phone so they can
I have to, right?
Okay, so get her flat on her back, bare her chest, okay? You want to rip her shirt off. Okay. Kneel down by her side.
Oh, my God. Ellie, please.
Listen, you can't freak out, sir, because you
okay, I'll try not. Her shirt won't come off. It's a zipper. Oh, my God. She stabbed herself.
Where?
She fell with a knife. Oh, no, her knife's sticking out.
Her what?
There's a knife sticking out of her heart.
Oh, she stabbed herself?
I guess so. I don't know where she fell on it. I don't know.
Okay, well, don't touch it.
All right, let's pause.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I got to walk back what I said earlier, where he said that he didn't say anything about her stabbing. He flat out said she stabbed herself. So he's flat out saying she killed herself. He does say it flat out. He has the narrative. It's not just she fell on the knife. He does flat out say she stabbed herself. So he's saying he killed herself.
He said that she fell on the knife and then stabbed herself. Which is it?
Or both, or yeah, I mean, because I think maybe he realizes falling on the knife seems kind of ridiculous. And, oh, she stabbed herself. So he does set that up. He does set it up as a suicide. It wasn't said to him that, oh, it must be a suicide. He's playing the narrative in the 911 call. So I apologize earlier. I said he didn't say it was a suicide because he didn't say it directly. He indirectly says it, that she had stabbed herself. It's not like he's mining for gold here, or he's sifting through big piles of rocks and dirt and, oh my God, there's a knife here. He's literally right there. Okay, oh Ellie, okay, oh my gosh, and there's like a good 10 seconds where he appears to be getting ready to do CPR, or he's thinking about it. At least that's what you would assume is going on, because that's where the call is heading. And then suddenly he realizes, oh, she has a zipper shirt on, and that the knife is protruding like directly out of her chest, right next to the zipper. She's a tiny woman, and he's right there. There should be no call for like shock that there's a knife here, or that she has a zipper shirt on. Those are observations one could make just glancing into the room and seeing her lying there. She wasn't covered in blankets. She wasn't like in some weird in the dark. It's all right there. And why the hell is it taking this long for him to suddenly realize, oh, and then I have to, right? Seems like he already knew he wasn't going to be able to do CPR because there's a knife protruding from her chest. Why wasn't that the first thing being said? Why is this sudden observation and this light bulb moment so far into this call? That's what I ask. I don't know. Yeah. Shavaun, what's the answer, damn it?
I think we're all so stunned by this. I don't know what else there is to say. Why haven't charges or at least an investigation been started? This is the most absurd freaking story that we have ever covered. Ever.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
It just, there's just so much that doesn't add up. Let's finish the call out.
So I just let her here now. I mean, what do I do?
No, I mean, you can't. If the knife is at her chest, it's going to be kind of hard for you to do CPR at this time.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Police with operator.
277.
Is someone coming here?
Yes, they are. You said 4601 Flat Rock, right?
Yes.
Okay, someone's on the way. And the knife is still inside?
Wait, so what?
The knife is still inside of her?
Yes, I didn't take it out.
Was it her chest or what area?
It's in her chest. It looks like it's right in her heart.
Okay, someone's on the way out there. Okay, just get.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
How old is she?
She's 27.
27, and there's no sign of life at all.
No, please don't be. What?
Been turned to her arm and tell me she responds to pain.
She's Ellie. She's not. Her arm and her hands are still warm. I don't know what that means, but there's blood everywhere. I mean.
I know, but you can't. And the knife is still inside of her. How far? Can you see how far it went in?
It looks pretty deep.
Okay.
It looks like 3 inches. It's a long knife.
Don't touch anything. Yeah, don't touch anything. Okay.
I'm not touching anything. I can't believe this.
No, wait. It was just you there with her?
We're the only ones here.
And she ran in the door. You said latched it shut.
No. I went downstairs to work out, and when I came back up, the door was latched. Like it was, it wasn't like it was, it was like locked from the inside. And I'm yelling, so I was,
was
yelling.
Your house broken into?
No.
So there's no sign of a break-in?
No sign of a break-in at all. I mean, there will be when you get here because I had to break the latch, but to get in.
He's so calm right now.
4601 Flat Rock, and this is a house, right?
It's an apartment. Flat Rock apartment.
Okay, that'll help.
Oh my God. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
He's so calm.
Thank you, goodbye. Thank you, goodbye.
Thank you. Have a great day. Is this take this scene out of the equation for a moment? Is this someone trying to control a narrative?
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
I mean, it feels a lot like that, and it could be for no nefarious reasons either. We just don't know the answer to that question. I mean, it could be, I want you to have the facts. I want you to know what's going on. It's also, I don't think it's also crazy if you did walk in on something like this and you had nothing to do with it, to also want your alibi to be known pretty quick. If it is a legit alibi and you're going to, if you're thinking that far in advance, I think, some people may, some people might not. You would want to have your words out there of saying where you were, what you were doing, to avoid any sort of questioning, or not because you don't want it, but to establish fact early on. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
It's not unreasonable to think that his mind went there. And again, everybody is going to handle that in a different way, along with having episodic moments where he sounds calmer and then he gets agitated again. It can be a real fluctuation in how people are talking and presenting themselves, and they may be, basically incoherent and then get coherent again and go back and forth. It's really hard to make a call on it.
I thought you were going to say something, Stacey. You're just taking a breath.
I'm exasperated. I don't know what else. I don't mean, I'm not sounding frustrated at what we're doing, but I'm just, how did we get here?
Yeah.
I hope the public pressure, after seeing this documentary, I hope there's enough pressure that something has to be done. I don't know what they can do at this point. The evidence isn't there anymore. It's been literally scrubbed. What can they do at this point? So what can be done at this point? I guess change it to murder to let the parents finally get some closure. But then if it does get changed to murder, her cause of death, that means that there's a murderer out there. That hasn't been charged.
And you might get to undetermined. And then that may open an investigation, or it may not. Undetermined doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get that. Even if it is homicide, doesn't necessarily. It means then that the authorities, the investigators, would have to decide, okay, let's put the resources into looking into this. Just because it's changed again this is going to continue to be a battle, I feel, forever, because it always has been a battle, and nobody wants to go further. And I'm wondering, is it going nowhere? Has it gone nowhere? Because at the end of the day, a lot of people have already run through all this stuff and have said, yeah, it looks weird as shit, but without the evidence, there's not enough for charges.
But then move it to undetermined. At least do that for the family.
Want more on this case and others? Then press subscribe now and don't miss a moment of true crime coverage from Tony Bruschi and the Hidden Killers podcast.